I've been here before in Silverbrook Mills, and it was actually Liam Campbell who brought me here, and Damien Devine, who's behind me here now at the moment, who told me so much about it. And it's like anywhere else that you go for your holidays. You know, you arrive at a place that you haven't been to before, and the first day you arrive there, even the first 2 days, you look at it and it's kind of strange and alien to you because you really don't know anything about it apart from how it looks. And if it looks well, that's great. But there's so much more to experience in the place than simply how it looks. And then once you find out any information about it, once you start connecting up information that you know about a certain place, then it becomes a very different experience altogether. And I think that's simply the way in which all of us learn about the environment. I think Alan used the word, and certainly Damien used the word to me when he was describing this whole event to me earlier on. It was about making connections. And the connections we're looking at are the connections between you, individuals, children if you like, and the environment around them, between you and nature, and between each other, and between us and the places. So you connect to the place, you connect to nature, and you connect to each other, and that makes you a far, far wiser and richer and better educated person, believe you me. It's all about making connections. That's how we go about making programs. Liam Campbell and I were making programs 30 years ago on that basis, that you go to places, perhaps you don't know them. It's not enough that they look well. It's not enough that you have beautiful scenery. You have to know something about the history of the place and how it works, and you have to know something about the nature of the place. And once you start making those kinds of connections, then it becomes a very different kind of a place to you. You see it with new eyes. So that holiday I was talking about that you went there on the first day and you weren't all that impressed with the place, once you start finding out about places and how the roads work and how you get from here to there, and you know a few people, then it's a very different place by the time you leave it and you feel attached to it and so on. So that's how we want these young people to approach nature and the environment around them, to get to know it, and that's all based on information. And I think that one of the great things you can learn to be, if you like, I know that young Rosie here is going to be a biologist. I said, "You're going to be a naturalist when you grow up?" No, she's going to be a biologist, okay? And she was teaching me earlier on how to understand a bit about the world of caterpillars and the world of butterflies. And she said her favourite butterfly is, remind me, a peacock butterfly, isn't that it? And it's got little eyes on its wings. And I had talked to her about how she told me, explained to me how the caterpillar becomes a cocoon, and out of that comes the butterfly. And then her daddy asked her after, and what are the eyes on the wings for? She said, well, that's to ward off predators. So she's 6 years old, okay? So she understands entirely about that. So there's nothing too complicated for these young people to learn. There's nothing that they can't acquire. And once they know that, they'll be all the richer for it.